you guys.
Hey, Gail.
No.
Gail says it's a cold February day.
It is cold here too.
I haven't been outside. I haven't been outside since 7 o'clock this morning. So
not as cold as yesterday, but it's still cold.
And sunny, warm Wisconsin from Barb. Hello.
Woohoo.
Jane from windy Texas. Hello, Doris.
Nashville.
And Lynn.
Not so warm in Wyoming. Yeah, Jeanette, I hear.
Jeanette's never warm in Wyoming, right?
San Francisco Bay. Ooh.
Where it just started raining. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Hey. Sandra.
Oh, look how nice. I was hoping it would be you guys. Thanks.
What's that?
Donna said I was hoping it would be you guys. Thanks, Donna. We were just saying, we're the last ones. People are bored of us by now.
the Thursday bunch is
people.
just kind of hard to be.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, got any big plans for this weekend?
Gotta come up with something really fast. No.
I know, me neither. Don't you hate? So how about you guys out there? When you go into the store or you go to the bank or whatever, and that's the first thing somebody asks you. So you have any big plans for the weekend? And you're like,
I'm here going home. I'm getting ice cream to go home. Stay home.
Haven't started yet. Yeah. Kathy, you're right. Thursday is a good day. It is the day before
That's
Friday.
why everyone likes it when I come on Thursdays, because it reminds them that tomorrow's Friday.
We love it.
So everyone's like, oh, that means tomorrow's Friday.
Melissa brightens our Thursdays big time.
These guys brighten mine too. It is fun.
Carla says it's sunny and the cherry blossoms are starting to bloom.
Oh, where are you, Carla?
I don't know, but
That's fantastic.
I love when my tulips start like poking their little green through the dirt.
I know, there's hope.
Well, except for it's covered with snow right now, so.
No, because we got a ton of snow yesterday.
Oh, my land, did we ever.
I worked in my yard on Saturday. I pulled out weeds to uncover my
Wasn't it cold?
Not too bad. But then yesterday it's like a blizzard again. So
Betty Ann said her first crocuses popped up today. I love crocuses. They are so cute. I can only do tulips. Anything else, the deer absolutely love. The deer but tulips, they don't touch.
Weird.
At my house, anyway. Daffodils, you go out there and every single flower is gone. You just have a green stem.
Oh, those deer.
So the other day I was just laying there reading and I looked up and there was a herd, had to have been at least 30 or more, right going through my front yard. It was so cool. I'm just in there staring at them. They head to the river.
Eat all of your stuff.
Well, there's nothing there for them to eat right now. Yeah, they were headed to the river for the afternoon. Yeah.
Ooh, look, good. Mine says her daylilies are popping up. Mine were starting to pop up too. That's why I was digging out. But I'm afraid now that I maybe froze them.
What's a daylily? I don't know what a daylily is.
I'll show you. I don't know. Like they come back every year. They get bigger and bigger. Just like the yellow is a really popular color on them.
Huh.
I like this big.
I don't know that I've even seen. Oh,
there
look at that.
You go.
Oh,
there you go. A daylily.
Those are very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abby. Those are really pretty.
Oh, deer.
Yeah.
Tulips in.
At Windmill Island. So I don't know why the deer haven't discovered that I have tulips in my front yard yet. Because like I said, any daffodils that I've ever tried growing there, I come out and it's just the saddest thing in the world. Like all the daffodils are gone and I just have these green stems and flowers.
Yeah, and speaking of sad, look at Kathy's. They put flowers on the grave and went to the luncheon and they came back and they were all eaten. That's a
you made some deer happy. The deer were happy, Kathy. It was probably not much to look at, but I love pussy willow trees. Those are so cute. Where do you live, Judy? Because
favorite time of
year. A little bit of warmth to get those to bloom.
Well, she doesn't live here.
Yeah,
clearly.
I wish I could remember where everybody lives.
I know
very much so, but yeah. So you now have a DoorDash venison. I love it, William. I didn't wake up my husband. I did not tell him. I told him later. I'm like, you were asleep. You missed like 30 deer in our front yard. He's like, was there any bucks? Like, I don't know.
Crystal's like, I was busy counting.
And I wasn't going to tell you because I don't want you to go out there. Yeah. Well, it's not hunting season, so he couldn't anyway. It was cool. Didn't bother the
Crystal's like got him fenced in her backyard. And she's like, I don't know. We have a deer herd now, I guess.
Marilyn, that is so funny. Marilyn says, did you spend the night at the shop? So we left here last night. It was a little after 8:30 and Chris is like, are you sure you don't just want to stay in town? Like, no, I really want to sleep in my own bed tonight, but thank you.
She's like the last one that leaves and the first one back.
Yeah, I get here
Okay.
I'm usually here by 7, and I left last night after 8:30. So it did feel like I got home. I told my husband good night, and I woke up and came in this morning.
That's
It is
crazy.
a good thing I love my job. And William, I am so planning on doing the sew along. So Stacy and Sherry are doing the sew along this weekend, and they
With
always
this?
no,
Oh,
they're
with
doing.
what?
You can do whatever you want. So you sign up, you
Oh.
check in. Usually every like 2 hours, they have a live check in.
Oh, I remember
And
this from last year.
oh, it was so much
Yeah.
fun. And they have you do like these little dress up things, these silly little contest things, and that. I'm going to be there.
Crystal is
Yeah.
there. Fantastic.
Oh, Kathy said she had deer across the street from her eating her neighbor's trees last night. Love those
Your
deer.
neighbors are like,
Okay, every
Group.
3 hours, Cindy. Thanks.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so long. If you do get on the thing, and then you don't have to check in every time. You know, some people have to go somewhere, do something, so they only do a couple of check-ins. The one I loved was the 24-hour one, and I have to say I did fall asleep. I did not.
Okay, can I tell you the
Hey.
best thing that ever happened to me? I think I already told you this week. Speaking of falling asleep, I took a 3-hour nap on Tuesday.
No, you did not
3
tell me that.
hours, you guys. It was the greatest day of my life.
And you were able to go to sleep at night?
Yeah.
See, I can't. If I take a
Well,
long nap.
here's
I'm
the
not.
problem. My boys pulled an
Thank you,
all-nighter.
Cindy.
I know.
On purpose?
Yes, I wasn't aware that was, yes. So then by 9 o'clock in the morning, everyone was in tears,
Oh gosh.
right? Noah ran away from me in Walmart
Oh God.
and hid, and then had the
I hate
nerve
when
to
they do that.
go and page me
Oh,
overhead to come and get him. And I'm like,
we're going home.
I was really happy to go and collect him. You know, it was like, thank
That's
you. He's got all
funny.
these stickers and stuff. He's like, look what I got. I'm like, good job. Thank you.
That is so
And then they
funny.
came home and they fell asleep because they had pulled an all-nighter.
And you're like,
And
and
I was
I'm
like,
right
here
there
we
with
go.
you.
I'm laying down and took a nap. And it
Yay.
was beautiful.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Yeah, I have a hard time taking long naps in the middle of the day because then it's like so much for sleeping tonight.
I don't sleep
You
at
know,
night
I
anyway.
just toss and turn. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Heidi, that was a crazy 24 hours. I totally agree. It was so much fun though.
Fantastic.
Yep, they
Christy
had
did
us
it
doing
too.
all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. Hello, Sheila from Minnesota. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Jeanette said her ring told her that she had someone at the door. It was 3 deer. Well, hello there.
Welcome.
That would be fun.
Welcome, welcome.
So I told you my exciting news.
She has good news.
I
you guys.
have a new grandbaby born yesterday at noon. Well, a few minutes before noon. But mom and dad have not posted pictures yet. So I
But
thought,
just take our word, he's darling.
he's dark and he's huge. 9 pounds,
Huge.
10 ounces. Huge baby. And he's really
The
cute.
cheeks on that baby are
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
so kissable. Ooh,
Yeah. So I am going to try. I'm trying to figure out when I get to go out and see him. They live in California.
so fun.
Excited. Yeah. Cute little guy. Been waiting and waiting for him. He was 2 days past due date. So it's like,
Oh.
she was so ready for this
Oh.
little guy. Yeah. So anyway,
Here we are.
welcome guys. Welcome to 3 Things at 3. Yay!
That's
Aren't
right.
we supposed to do this little woo?
Yeah.
Thing number 1 is,
Something to make you smile.
and thing number 2 is,
Something to learn.
and thing number 3 is something we almost forgot.
We did actually, but not by
Yeah.
our fault.
Thank you, Abby, for
Yes.
reminding us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sneak peeks.
Sneak peeks for tomorrow. So here we go.
Oh yeah, yes. So okay, we're rolling.
All right.
Thank you for all the congratulations. Yeah, I can't wait to go out there and, nothing better than the smell of a new baby.
It's true.
Snuggles, cuddles with him. Let mom and dad go sleep. I'll hold the baby all afternoon.
And those like newborn days last like
Oh,
3 weeks.
Well, that's it. That's why I keep
That's
saying I
like-
have to get out there. I didn't get to see his brother right away when he was born. And it was like, by the time I got there, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not a newborn anymore.
And this baby's already half grown. I mean, he's like
Right.
22 inches long.
Yep. And I think, I don't know, you'd have to speak to my kids, but by the sounds of it, this is the last grandbaby in our family. So yeah, I need to get out there and see him. I
Yes,
can't
you
wait.
do.
So we scrounged for some funnies today. And
I had some, but we do not connect well. I don't know why.
it's not you. It's not just you. Somebody else sent me a funny. So, oh, who was it? I can't even think who his name was. Somebody sent me a really cute one. And my computer would not transfer the file over to
Get it.
StreamYard. So we do three on what's app called StreamYard. And for some reason, it's really picky on what files it'll accept to put these in. And of course, 2:30?
Yeah,
About
it
2:30,
was
we
about
realized
2:30.
that Melissa's funnies were not
compatible.
So-
But also like emailing. I can email them to her in the morning and they don't go through.
No, I'll
she
get
gets
them
them at like
tonight.
at 9 at night.
Yeah, I'll get them tonight, probably about 8 or 9
don't know
o'clock.
why.
My phone will bing and go, oh, you have new messages. Very frustrating. But so we do
next
have
week
some.
we have some good ones.
Yeah, so I found some, but last minute, and they're funny. They're cute. So here we go. Oh, we can't. There we go. My dad said that when he was a kid, the dollar store was a dime store.
I know, and now it's no longer the dollar store.
Oh, and you know what is when he said that, I'm like, when I was a kid, they were all called 5 and dimes.
Oh,
You know, like your
Some that come to the
Sprouse
5 and-
Rights, your oh gosh, what was some of the other ones? I can't even think of the name. Like, you guys help me out. Some of those variety stores, they were all called 5 and dimes. That's pretty bad. Nickels, dimes, and now $1.25.
I know. Yeah, the penny candy.
Yep. Woolworths. That's what I'm trying to think
Okay.
of, Cindy. Yep. Woolworths. Yeah. We didn't have a GC Murphy where I was at. Thrifty. Yep. That was another one. Yeah. Crazy. I don't think we had that one either. We had a Sprouse Rights. We had a Thrifty. We had a Woolworths. Cress. That was the other one. SH Cress. Ben Franklin's. Yes.
Oh, Ben
yes. I
Franklin.
remember Ben Franklin's. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm showing my age because I remember when my grandma would say, let's go down to the 5 and dime. Yeah. Okay. And you actually could buy
You get,
stuff.
like, yeah, an ice cream.
You
or
know, there
something.
was stuff. Yes. Thrifty
Yeah.
had the ice cream cones for a quarter. Yeah. Yep.
Ah,
So
I think
I'm old.
we need to bring that back. Those were good times.
Yes. 25-cent ice cream cones. For sure.
We can make our own. Come on over. we'll churn.
I
Churn our
don't
own
think
ice
you could even
cream.
buy ice cream and put it in a cone for 25 cents.
Well, that's what we'll have to churn our own.
But you'd have to
Milk
buy
the neighbor's
Yeah,
cow.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Kathy, I can remember going down to the little corner store, gas station, and that from my grandma's house. And she'd pull out a dime. She had this old sock that she had hidden, and she'd go in and get that sock out, pull us each out a dime, and she'd watch us as we walked down to the store back. Got some pretty good fabric.
That's fantastic.
Candy. Yeah.
That's
Fabric was
fantastic.
35 cents. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Here we go. Go for it.
7 forms of old age. Nappy. Ooh.
There you go.
Wrinkly, squinty, rocky, saggy, farty, and leaky. Oh boy.
Okay, you guys, how many can you relate to?
Okay, did I ever tell you that my son-in-law, before my grandbaby was born, he wanted him to call me Saggy? Is that the meanest name ever?
Why?
I don't know. And I
That's
was like, I
awful.
know, that's what I said. I'm like, no, you can't call me Saggy.
That's
That's so
awful.
mean.
And there's so many different ways you could take that.
I was like, oh, I'm going off.
Yeah, that's funny.
That was fun.
Yeah. Okay. I love this support group for first pancakes. Are you good at making pancakes?
No.
I'm not either. Every single time I make pancakes, they come out either different thickness, different texture, different flavor.
That's why I do crepes instead
Oh,
of pancakes.
I do waffles.
So I do waffles.
Yeah,
sometimes, too,
waffles are pretty sure bet. You can't, unless
Yeah.
you burn them, you can't mess up a
but crepes
waffle.
are the same.
Oh, okay.
They're good.
Never done. I don't think I have ever made crepes.
Have you?
No,
oh, that's a
I haven't.
staple at our house. We do that a
Oh,
lot.
yum. Do you put
Yeah.
like fruit in them or?
Sometimes, like, we'll do breakfast and do fruit, and sometimes I even do it for dinner and do like pesto.
Oh, yum.
Yeah,
I love crepes. I
fantastic.
love going to restaurants and getting crepes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're easy.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't look easy.
Oh, they are
with the thin.
so
I just
easy.
tear them all up in the fry pan.
No, they're easy.
Stuffed waffle, Cindy. Okay, that sounds good. Look, she said a stuffed waffle iron is fun.
What?
I've never heard of a stuffed.
Yeah, what do we stuff it with?
I love William. I do IHOP.
Oh,
There you get the perfect that or Waffle House.
oh, wow.
When I go
Waffle
visit
House?
my daughter out in
Yes.
Florida, I love Waffle House.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now you're making
They
me
do
hungry
too.
again.
Yeah. In fact, she sent a picture the other day of my little, what is she, 8 months, 9-month-old granddaughter with a Waffle House. She goes, first time at
Oh,
Waffle House with
fun.
a little hat on. Cute. Okay. Stuff. Wow. We're going to try it. Okay. One more, you guys. Here we go.
It isn't hoarding if it's yarn.
I figured we could do yarn, we could do fabric,
All of the
we could do
above.
embroidery,
Right? All of
supplies.
the above.
It isn't hoarding if it's what you use for enjoyment.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I crocheted a hat for myself this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah. I was hoping you were going to.
Oh my gosh. How you can look at a pattern and go, that's really cute. I think I'm going to make it. And the final product, I have to bring that and show you. I have
please do.
never laughed. I will bring the picture of what it's supposed to look like, and I will bring mine. You guys,
I can't wait.
it was
This is
pretty
gonna be
bad.
So good.
It made me decide I need to take crochet lessons.
Oh, yes, that was.
Yep,
Oh.
there's no way I can do this on my own. It just is my Afghan. It's beautiful, but the whole top has like this much on one side more than the bottom. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but anyway.
I think you have to count your
Look at this.
stitches.
February pancake of the month here was a chocolate chip strawberry cheesecake.
What kind of pancake? That's
William,
just
where
delicious.
was that?
Pennsylvania, I think. Is where William's
William,
from.
is that like at IHOP? Oh, I have to go because it's
That
still
does sound
February and we have an
fantastic.
IHOP down the street.
Hey, we've got time.
We could go. See you guys later. We're out of here. I'm sure they'll serve it to us. So somebody asked, are we going to show the final steps of the quilt behind us? So yes, we are going to show the center, how to do the center today. We are going to show how to measure for borders and put borders together. And I'm going to give just a very, very quick, if you've never made a quilt before, how to do your binding. I'm just going to show how to put it together, press it, and put it on. We do not have this quilt finished. We are sending it down to Suzanne, and she's going to put it all together. So it should be really
Yay.
interesting because 4 different people have been working on these blocks over the past 2
Yeah.
weeks. So we're hoping they all have the same seam allowances and they all measure out, but she's excellent. She can do anything. So she's going to put it all together. So we will have this bright colorway put together in the next week or 2 and show you what it looks like. And we do still have a few of the bright colorway
do.
kits.
Yeah, we do. We
Available.
don't have any of this one left.
Yeah, I think
But we
the
do have a
Evermores
few.
are gone.
Yeah.
But this Market, whatever this is, Market Street,
Market Street.
Market
Yeah.
Street, we do have a few kits left. And I think once we see the quilt put together, everybody's
It's
going to go,
gonna be
oh,
so
I want that
cute.
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed doing this and watching us and our tips and that. But let's get started. We'll move on
Let's do
to
it.
thing number 2.
Hey.
Something to learn.
We should have switched places.
It's okay. I'm fine right here.
Okay.
So this is the center block, that big one right in the middle, and it is easy, but there are tips to make it really easy. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to show you guys the way I put something like this together, and it really truly is all about measuring. It's going to make your life so much easier if you do the measuring. So there's 2 ways you can do it. This is your main block. It's 17, I believe it's 17 and a half. And so what you're going to do, you can do it 2 ways. I like to fold it. I mean,
Right sides together.
you're going to fold it right sides together and you're going to finger press. You're going to just give it a really good finger press right here to know exactly where that center is. You will open it up, and I take a chalk marker. This is one of the my best favorite chalk markers, and I just mark right there. That's my center of that one. I'm going to do the same thing up here. You can also take what's half of 17 and a quarter, guys? Help me out here. So half of 17 a quarter is what is it? 8
3/4.
whatever it is, you guys.
No, it would be.
So anyway, you can measure it also and then use your ruler and measure in. But I have always found just folding it in half really truly is you're exact. I mean, it just gives you know exactly where your center is. You want to make sure
Plus,
your
this is
squares.
easier.
Yeah, it is. You want to make sure your square is 17 and a half. But if for some reason it was just off slightly, folding it in half is going to still give you the exact center. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to take your triangle. Take your triangle, and you are going to do the same thing. So the one thing you don't want to do on this triangle, I'm going to sit right here, is watch what happens. Look at how much that stretches. I am not exaggerating. You have cut across the bias when you're cutting a square in half, and it is so easy to stretch. So when you're doing this part, you're going to just fold it in half. Do the same thing. Finger press it right here. Oh, 8 3/4, 8 5/8. Look at all of them.
Yeah.
And then, as I throw my chalk on the ground, let me grab that. And you are going to take your chalk and do the same thing and just mark it right there. And then what you're going to do is take those, and here's where my Wonder Clips come in amazing. Pins can be used on this. Pins work great. The problem when you're pinning, and we've learned all along, is you can push and shove and stretch fabric. And when you've got this against your bias and it stretches so much, if you're pinning, you're going to stretch that fabric. So that's why I love the clips. So I just take the white here and I match it right there with my white. And I use my clips and clip it in place. That way I'm not taking pins and pushing and shoving and taking the chance that I'm stretching that at all. So just go under there and clip it. Do a couple of clips all the way along. And then we're going to take it over to the machine, and we're just going to sew a really nice 1/4 inch on here. So I am going to take it over to the machine, and I'm going to sew my 1/4 inch on that. Trade you places, Melissa. And there again, don't feel like you have to push or pull or do any of that kind of stuff on this one. Let's see. They brought up a new machine for us. I'm looking, I'm going, oh.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't recognize this
That is
machine.
not the machine we used last time.
Abby, what did we say this one is? This is a Presto. Cute little machine. And so right there, and we do have a foot pedal. So I'm just letting the machine guide it through. I'm not pulling, pushing, twisting, anything. So I get a nice even seam. Want to make sure, there we go. Perfect. Don't want to run over my clips. I'm usually really good at that. And then when we take it over to the iron, the same idea. Don't tug and twist at it because you don't want to stretch that. So we're going to take it right over here. Abby told me I don't have to worry. I don't have to be scared of it anymore. And then we're just going to press that down. Nice. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'll just take it back here and do the other one really quick and show you how to do the other side. Same
She's so
idea.
great. Back and forth, back and forth.
What's that?
I said, you're so great. Back and forth.
No,
back
I'm
and forth.
fine. I know. We love our studio, but sometimes we're kind of like walking on each other. Trying to get twist around. You should see us at Comments Hold.
Oh, I bet. You guys are.
Yesterday, I'm like, okay, in the middle of the show, I am going to trip over something here. I guarantee it. So I'm going to just mark the middle. I've already marked the center here on that one. Same idea. Lay those marks right even together. Not going to twist or pull or tug on any of it. Do the same thing all the way across here. I'm going to go sew that, and then I'll show you how to do the sides. Okay. I don't need the chair. Thanks, Melissa. And you can lock your stitches on here. It probably is a good idea because this is not something you're going to trim down later. So you probably a good idea to lock that right there on the end. I always like to lift that just a little bit there, make sure that I've got those even. I can see that pinky peach one. I love the colors of this fabric line. It's like, is that like what? Coral, salmon?
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of those.
Yes. You couldn't ask for a happier quilt. That's the way I
That
look
is
at it.
true.
The other one behind us, the Evermore, is very calming and just beautiful colors. This one here is just like, oh, how happy can you get?
I like happy things.
I do too. I love when I go to grab a quilt to go, kick back on the couch or whatever. And, when you're a quilter, you've got 1,000 of them laying around somewhere. It's always like, do I want a happy one? Do I want one to relax? What kind of quilt do I want today? Okay, so we're going to press this one once again. Set our seam. And then press. Perfect. Look at that. And now we're going to take this over and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, it's kind of big now. I mean, we have quite a bit of quilt here. And so you're going to do exactly the same thing. And this is where if you fold it in half, you're just going to even up those side seam and points right there. Do the same idea, finger press it. And then mark that center. Take one of these, because you've already taken your 2 squares and cut them in half. So they should be exactly, all 4 of your triangles should be the exact same size. Finger press it. I should have one of those little clapper wood things that press.
Oh, the presser, yeah.
Instead of saying finger press, but okay. And then I am going to, thank you for those.
Yeah, I think there's a little press under in the drawer.
Okay, I'm okay. It's a handy tool to have. Do you use those little wood press things?
No, I use my finger just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm too lazy to go find it. It's like I have all those fancy tools, but a lot of times it's like, oh, that means I actually have to go look for it, right? Okay, so we just found the middle, did the same idea. I'm going to go press that.
Okay, Doris,
Or,
you're
excuse me.
asking if there is a kit for this. There is for this bright colored one that Crystal is working on. There isn't any left that are examples of the one behind
For the
me,
Evermore.
For the Evermore.
Actually, go on the website and see if there's any left, because I know somebody said, oh, we found a couple the other day.
Oh, did they?
So I don't know. There may be. I'm not sure.
Deborah, we are finishing the My First Quilt. We've been working on it for the last 2 weeks. We are finishing the center block, and then we're going to show you how to measure for quarters, and Crystal's going to give a real quick tutorial. There are a couple more Evermore. Okay, so Abby says there are a couple more Evermore. Jump fast because there's only a few left. They're both, but we do have, I'm not sure how many, we're getting low on both. But I know we have just a few of the Evermore. A few more.
I did love this one too. I
And
made
it's
I made the
Market.
Evermore one, so I'm ready for the farmer's market or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
the market. I can't remember. Market something.
Market Street. That's
Market
what
Street.
it is. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, So we're going to press this and show you guys how nicely that measures out. Melissa, could you look at the instructions and see if they tell you to trim up this or if it's just going to come out exact? Because it's going to come, because you are going to want to trim it up a little bit. I am not sure if we did put that in the instructions or not.
I'm not seeing.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to squeeze in here and show you
Oh, yeah.
guys.
Sorry, one more time.
Okay. And so what you want is, if you look here, you want to be a 1/4 inch out. So when you sew this to your other ones, you're going to come and you're not going to cut that off. So if you are just a little bit, you can trim that up, trim that side up nice and even. Okay. And so then we're not going to do the last one, but the same idea. You do the same thing, put it right there and press it, and you have your center block. Woo, woo, woo.
Beautiful.
So pretty. It's easy if you follow those tips. Okay. So the next thing what we're going to do is I'm just going to really quick go over, if this truly is your first quilt, you've never made a quilt before and you're working on this, you're going to get done with all your blocks. You're going to sew them all together exactly how the instructions show you. You can put your blocks any which way because they all actually come out the same size. So if you don't like those two next to each other or you want to move them around, by all means, move them around. So what you're going to do is when you put this together, Abby, I think we can see this, right? You're going to sew your top row and you're going to sew your bottom row all together. You're going to sew F and C here and H and D here together, and then sew that to the sides of this one that we just did. And then you'll sew all 3 of these together. Okay, so you know, it goes together pretty fast once you have finished all of your blocks. But now, so you got all those blocks together, you've got that center. Now you're going to put on your borders. So what you want to do, the thing you don't want to do is measure either the top or the bottom of your main piece. So we're going to walk over here and I'm going to show you how we do this. So you're going to take a tape measure and you want to measure right through the center. So we're going to measure from white. No, we're going to go from white to white because this is all your blocks and your center sewn together. So this is going to be laying down, guys. Okay, you're going to have this laying on a table. We just have it hanging up to look at it. So hold it really good and tight, and I'm going to stretch it. And it says 47. In the ideal world, everybody's would be 47, or it's actually, because we've already sewn the seams, it's actually going to be 47 and a half. But that's the ideal world. Most of the time, everybody's quilt doesn't come out exactly what it's supposed to, what your pattern says.
And that's okay.
It is okay. As long as your center is all put together, you now have your borders. One thing patterns will tell you sometimes is to cut your borders ahead of time. I never cut my borders ahead of time, because if this pattern told you to cut it 47 and a half and all of a sudden yours actually was only 46 and a half or 47, you've cut your borders and they're going to be too short. So I always recommend waiting until you have your center of your quilt done before you measure and cut your borders. Okay, so we've measured it. It's 47 and a half. That's what our middle is. Chris's recommendation, which is probably the absolute best way to do, is you measure the top, you measure your center, and you measure your bottom. You divide that, you add them up, divide it by 3, and that's what you are going to cut. This border and this border. Okay, that's your top and bottom border. Now, because it's 47 and our fabric is only 45, right? 44, 45. When you do with the fabric, you're going to have to sew your strips together. So we have our inner border and our outer border here. We've already cut all of the strips, but that's all we have. It's a whole bunch of strips. We don't have them sewn together. So what I recommend is, let's see, we had 5 border strips. So you're going to take them and you're going to put them together. And what you do is you're going to put them together at an angle. It just
same way you'll do a binding.
Same way you do binding. Exactly. So you can do it. You can clip them. Just clip them right on the corners there. You got them together. If you aren't real sure, you can take your ruler. Where's my little chalk marker? Where did I put? There it is.
Yeah.
And you're going to take your chalk marker and you're going to mark from the intersection on the top to the intersection on the bottom. And make sure that you put your salvages out. You don't want your salvages to be into the pattern of your thing. So overlap them a little bit. And then you'll just take your ruler, your chalk marker, mark right across there. Good. And then you'll clip the other corner, and then you'll just take that to the machine and we will sew that. And I recommend doing all 5 strips. So all 5 strips, and then measure your border pieces off of that. So this one, you're not going to go a 1/4 inch or anything. You're going to sew right directly down that line that you marked. There we go. I can't see underneath there when I'm standing up. Oh my God, I don't know. I think it was close. Hopefully it was close, you guys. I was sitting down. Yeah, we're good. Then we'll take it back to our cutting table. Can you hand me the rotary cutter, Melissa? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to take a ruler and you'll cut a 1/4 inch on the outside of that seam. You'll do that with every one of those strips, sew them all together in the same way. You'll take this over to the iron and you'll just press that. You don't have to press it open, just press it to the side. And you have a really nice border. There you go. Look at that. And you'll do all 5 of those strips, do the same idea. And then you've measured, you're going to cut these that exact same size. You're going to put the top and bottom on. Then you'll measure down the center of your quilt, including these. These will be included, and you'll put your sides on. You're going to then do the exact same thing with your large border. This one, you want to be just a little more careful. This went together really easy because there's hardly any fabric there. The larger your border gets, the more exact you want to be when you're laying them across each other, just so that it right sides together. Make sure when you lay these across each other that you draw a nice line from here to here. Clip them and sew directly on there without stretching or tweaking it. Because what you don't want to have happen is when you open it up, you're like, this one's down here and this one's up here. You want this to lay really nice and straight all the way across there, if that makes sense. Do we have any questions yet? Let's see. Okay, Marilyn says she measures in 3 places. Good idea, Marilyn. And I know that is when Chris filmed this, the first time she did this quilt, that was her recommendations. Do it. And you may have to. So this is another tip I should have told you about too. So when you're putting this on and you go to put it across the top, Melissa, I'm going to have you take that. And we're going to do it across, like, say we went to go across it and we were like this much short. Like, say your center or your measurement that you came up with is not exactly. What you're going to do is you're going to ease it in. And so if your quilt, if the base of your quilt is bigger, it will go on the bottom. And as you're sewing, just ease that fabric in. So you definitely want to pin both of your ends, pin your middle, and ease that fabric in. Same way, if this ends up being, if your border ends up being bigger than that, you'll ease this into that. And if you need any more, I think you can go on, like you can look up on YouTube or whatever, and they tell you how to ease in pins or any of this kind of stuff. But that's the reason you're measuring, because it doesn't always come out the same. You know, that top does not always come out the same measurement that center is. you wished it would. But believe me, there have been so many times I'm like, how did that happen? I mean, I know I put it together
Right.
correctly. So that's the way you do your borders. Binding, pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
You know, you're putting your binding pieces together. We're going to pretend like this is our binding. You're binding. Some people cut it 2 1/4. Some people cut it 2 1/2. I do 2 1/2 just
Maybe
because
2.5 or 2.
it's just, to me, it's just that little, it's just a tad bit easier to put it on. But you put them together, you connect all of your pieces the same. You're not going to cut any binding. It's going to be one great big long strip. You're going to take it over and you're going to press it, and you just press it in half, just like this. You do that all the way along, pressing it in half. Ah, there it did it again.
Still good. I know it.
Every time. And it's not hot. It just scares me. So you'll just go like this, go the entire length of your binding, pressing it in half. And then there are several ways to put binding on. If you're not sure, we have videos out there on our site. You can YouTube how to put binding on. But basically, if this was your quilt, some people put it on the top. Some people put it on the back. It just depends. But you'll sew it with a 1/4 inch. Then you'll fold it over. Fold it all the way to the back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And it'll go onto the back. And you can hand stitch it down. You can machine stitch it down, however you want. You know, a lot of people have different, everybody, I think you could ask 6 people and 6 people would have a different way of
different
putting
things,
binding
yeah.
on. So
Yeah.
there again, if you have any questions on that kind of stuff, definitely give us a call. Customer service. Elisa is amazing at sewing. She knows how to do all these kinds of things. So if you need tips, you can get hold of one of us, email us or whatever, and rewatch this, rewatch any of our videos
The
we have
blocks,
out there
yeah.
on that kind of stuff, or YouTube it. There's a ton of people out there that
And
want to
people
tell
are
you how to do
smart.
it.
I did it really complicated the first
Mhm.
few quilts I did, and then I watched one and I was like, this actually is easy.
Yeah,
I really don't mind binding. And at
No.
first I thought, oh, it's the worst part of the quilt.
right. And I think the hardest thing people have is when you have to connect those 2 ends. You went all the way around, you've sewn it all the way, and you have 2 raw ends. There again, a dozen different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So watch some YouTubes, find out what is your favorite way of putting on binding, and then try one way. That was a little bit
That's- yeah.
difficult. Try another way,
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, let's see.
Judy's
Can
wondering.
you sew it on each side at a time and not cut ahead of time? Your border, Judy?
Yes, the border.
No. You always want to cut your border exactly what it's supposed to be. Do not sew a great big long strip on and then trim your ends, because then what you're doing is sewing it on what the size of that border is, and sometimes, or that outside, and sometimes your sides can be bigger than the center. And what you end up having is this quilt that's big at the top, sucks in at the middle, and then is big at the bottom. And so you do not have a nice even. So if you measure across the top, measure across the middle, measure across the bottom, get an exact, cut it, ease it in. It's going to bring that top in a little bit. It's going to bring that bottom in a little bit, and you'll have nice even sides on your quilt. So yeah.
Just linked 2 videos of how to do binding.
Awesome. Thank you, Abby. So Abby just linked a couple of different videos on how to do binding. There are probably 2 different ways, and I know three people have tried different. Three people have showed different. Like I said, there's a zillion different ways to do it.
Those that she just posted, one is hand stitching and one is machine.
Okay,
stitching.
awesome.
So,
and even the people here do machine binding different. I do it where I put it on the back, I flip it. No, I put it on the top, I flip it over, and I stitch in the ditch, and it catches the back. There's a lot of people here at Girlfriends that put it on the back, flip it over, and sew with a binding foot, and sew the binding on the front. All different ways. So yeah. So Nancy said it really squares up your quilt if you do it the right way. Nancy, absolutely. That is so true. And the quilter will absolutely love you. When you send your quilt to the long armor, they're going to love you if you took the time to measure and put your borders on the correct way versus just sewing them on, cutting them. Because when they go to load it onto the long arm, if it's not even top and
square.
bottom, they
Yeah.
have a harder time. So, any other questions or anything we can answer?
Crystal's a fantastic teacher.
Oh.
Even stuff I've done, I'm like, oh yeah.
You know, I think a lot of like the borders, the binding, all that stuff, you learn by trying it. You know,
true.
you do it the wrong way. I will be honest, I have put borders on, think, oh, my quilt's square. I'll just put it on, cut those ends off, put the next one on, and then you hold it up and you're like, wasn't as square as I thought it was.
I know,
So
and then
yeah.
it's disappointing because you've spent all this time on it and you got a wavy.
Yeah, and it's still your quilt. And you guys, if this truly is your first quilt, you know, don't be hard on yourself. You know, give yourself some slack, because even though the blocks are fun and they're easy, putting together this many blocks can give a little bit of a challenge. Biggest hint is 1/4 inch seams.
Watch your 1/4 inch, which we saw last week.
Yes.
When I didn't go on the
Yeah. So if you're
1/4 inch.
not careful on your cutting and getting exact cuts and your 1/4 inch seams, you're going to, in the long run, it's going to add up when you go to put things together. They won't be exact. But if they're not exact, give yourself slack. It's your first quilt. You did a great job. You tried it. And each one you do, Judy, I love it. Each project you do shows your progress as a quilter. If you could see my first quilt, oh my gosh. And I saved it. I made it for my daughter. I love it. But yeah. So, and Kathy says, as a long armor, it pains me to see people not measure their borders. So true, Kathy. Yeah. I love Elisa's. This is a great quilt to learn on. It will be beautiful no matter what.
Yes, it will.
And it's yours. You did it. That's the best part.
That's the best part. Yeah.
So what we really want is for you guys, when you finish these, to send in pictures, to post pictures on Facebook. Let us see how well you did, because I think we're going to love everybody's.
But, yeah.
And like I said, switch up your blocks. Make yours look a little bit, don't put that log cabin in the corner. Put it wherever you want. So, yeah. So, let's see. Marcel, I love that question. Have you ever laid the strips across the quilt top for the length of your strips? Yes, I have. Yes, you can do that. I don't know why everybody says measure. And so the thing about a measuring tape is it doesn't stretch. If you're laying just a strip of fabric across your quilt top and measuring, you can, for some reason, twist it, stretch it just a little bit, and you can be off 1/2 inch, whatever. So, yeah. So Tammy says, I'm still a bit confused. If our 3 measurements are of our borders, which measurement to use? Okay. What you do, you measure the top, the middle, the bottom, you add them up, you divide it by 3, and that's the size.
Your average.
That is the average of top. You don't want to just measure the bottom. You don't want to just measure the top. And depending on where in the middle, you don't want it. So if you do all 3, add them up and divide it by 3, that's going to give you the measurement that all your borders are going to be the same.
Then that gives you the straight from the top to the.
Absolutely.
Other than that avoids the wavy.
Yeah. Okay. Yay. Thank you,
that
guys.
That was fun. And look, you guys.
We're done.
Well, gotta put it together.
Yeah. We can't wait till Suzanne gets this one put together and we get to see what it looks like. Yep.
So run, because there's a few left.
Yeah, get on there.
There's not very many left.
No.
One of them.
So, okay. So thing number 3. Let's see. Okay. We have the number up. Did we do a jingle for 3 anymore?
Not anymore.
Nope. Okay, we don't.
Okay, then we're just sitting here waiting.
I know. We're like, wait.
Where's our jingle?
Okay, so we're going to show. This is for tomorrow.
Judy says, what if your quilt is a rectangle?
Yeah, even the same.
thing.
Exactly
do
the
the
same
same
thing,
thing.
Judy. You, of course, your sides, when you get that top and bottom on, you're going to measure from the very top, including that border, to the very bottom, middle, side, atom, divided by 3. And that's going to be the size of your side borders. And some people, this is real interesting too. Some people say you have to put the top and bottom on first, then the sides. It gives the quilt strength or stability or whatever. Other people are like, oh no, you have to put the sides on first, then the top and bottom. I don't know that it makes a difference. I don't. If somebody out there knows why you would put your top and bottom on before your sides, let us know. I don't know that it makes a difference.
Which do you do?
That one I did the sides
sides.
first. Yep. That one I did the sides first. So it
But
doesn't
I
matter.
think
Well,
that's typically what I do.
yeah, that's a square. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe if it was no, actually I didn't because this our log is that the log cabin? Yeah, it should be in that corner. So no, I did do the top
So
and
you do
bottom
the top
first.
and bottom. Okay.
Yeah, top and bottom. So yes.
There you go.
Thank you guys. So we're gonna do really quick, show you our sneak peeks.
We've got some
Pillowcase.
pillowcases.
The pillowcase kits, and there's a finished
And,
one.
oh yes. You guys, look how cute.
Isn't that Is that Market Street fabric? Or is it? I
Oh,
don't remember.
it looks like it.
I don't
but
know.
I don't think it is.
kind of matches. You guys, is this Market Street?
I
What's
think
the
it
package
is.
say? What's the package say? Let's see. Doesn't say. Doesn't say.
I don't.
Anyway,
But it does.
it kind of looks
it
like
kinda
it.
looks like it.
Ooh, look, you can make pillowcases to match your quilt.
Your quilt.
Because it matches. If it's not Market Street, it matches perfect.
And these actually have 2 pillowcases in there.
This one does.
Right, just the marketplace.
Right, the Marketplace one does.
Has the
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So that is the first sneak peek.
Then we have this little guy. This was a Valentine one. This one came out Valentine's, but it doesn't have to be. If you want to make a cute little pillowcase for your sweetie, it's got X's and O's and hearts and crowns and all kinds of stuff. Anytime,
Right.
you
It
know,
doesn't like
or
to be reminded.
a kid that's been awesome the last couple weeks. Make them a fun pillowcase
that
that says
idea.
"I love you." Yeah.
It's a happy surprise when you
Yeah.
go to bed.
So
Yeah.
who doesn't love a fresh pillowcase? So that's the second one. And then this is our third one, my favorite. I love this fabric, you guys. This is called Petal Song. And I am not going to open it because if I open it, then I can't sell it to you. And so Petal Song, it's got flowers, it's got some mustard, some like burgundy wine
It's
color,
really pretty.
a rosy pink. This is a gorgeous, this is a fat quarter bundle. I think it says 21 in there. Pretty sure there's 21 fat quarters in that. That is going to be on Comment Sold tomorrow morning. So, yep. Okay.
That's fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks,
so many
guys.
fun
I feel like I
things.
did all the talking. Sorry.
I don't know. That's great because remember you're a good teacher.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot to add today. You
No,
barely
it
ever.
was great. So, thank you guys for joining us.
I know. Now we
and,
just wait for Suzanne,
I know.
and then we'll,
Yes, and somebody said hopefully she will post it. Absolutely.
we'll get that posted.
We're going to get this posted when it's all done and show you guys. So thank you. And have a great weekend, you guys.
Yeah, I
know
hope that you're
tomorrow's
doing
Friday,
something
so-
more fun than what Crystal and I could come up with.
Hey, I'm
something-
doing this so long. That's
She's
going
doing
to be
this so
fun.
long.
Yeah.
And she's planning a trip to see her baby.
Yes. I'm
That's
trying
fun.
to get my reservations all ready so I can go out there. Thanks, Gail. So we will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Later. Bye.